Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going over Asia Broadband Inc., ticker symbol AABB. Now, this company has been on an absolute tear recently, and I'm so excited about all of the progress that they have seen within the stock price and the company, and I can't wait to bring you all some of this information today. Now, if you do like this video, you can definitely let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get straight into the video. So whenever I made my very first video on this company, it was actually on March 15th on my old channel. Now, of course, many of you do know this channel was hacked, and I was using a second channel in the time that it was hacked. Now, during this time frame, on March 14th, I put in my Patreon and, in the Discord, and I said, hey guys, AABB was a company that one of my Patreon members actually presented to me. I said, I think this company has a lot of potential. I think they're going to do very well. I'm going to be posting a video before market opens on March 15th about them and why I'm going to personally be buying some stock in them. Now, whenever that video did come out, it was right before market opened on Monday. Now, since then, this stock has risen 109% since then. We are up over 109% on this play. It has been absolutely one of the best plays of the month, that's for sure, and one of the quickest 100% gainers that we have seen in March. So if you do want access to these trades, if you do want access to all of this information when I do get it, definitely go down to the link in the description. It'll bring you over to my Patreon, in which I say every trade I make, my trade portfolio, early access to these videos is included as well, and as well, you also get the research that I do. So if you definitely want, have some interest in that and you want access to all of that information, definitely go down to the Patreon. Also, if you are looking to expand out into a new brokerage or start your own investment journey, I 100% recommend using Webull. Whenever you sign up, deposit $100 into your account, you will get 2 free stocks valued all the way up to $1,850, and that is a fantastic opportunity for anyone involved. So whenever it does come to this company, what all has been going on? What are we looking at? I'm going to take a look at some of the technicals. I'm going to talk about how I feel about what I'm seeing with the charts here, and then I am going to talk about why we've been seeing a lot of this growth and what I'm expecting for the future. So definitely buckle up as we have a lot to unpack, and I don't want to make this a very long video. So as we can see here, over the last few months, from around this area, this is when Asia Broadband really started to catch some momentum. They introduced their new token. They really started to bring to light what their platform was going to be, what their overall crypto was going to be, and how it was going to be working. We started to see them gain a lot of popularity. I mean, we can see this wick up here. I mean, this thing was absolutely flying. Well, over the last couple of weeks, we really did start to see them slow down a significant amount, and we saw them for the most part trading within this channel. Now, they did have a few days where they were kind of stepping out, and I personally thought that this was going to be the start of an uptrend here. But as we can see, it didn't really go that way. It wasn't one that, it kind of just couldn't find its path, and so it found its way back into this channel and really started to trade within this as well. But as we can see here, that overall in this range, it was definitely trading within a flag. It was starting to set this triangular pattern that we can see here, and I kind of figured, I thought it might have taken a little bit longer, but I was watching and we could see that it was starting, here, let me undo that. It was starting to get very close. Now, typically what we'll see from a stock is that as it starts to work its way into these little thin areas, that it's probably going to break out either down or up. And you can never, sometimes there's some other indicators that'll let you know where it could be going, but of course, it's the stock market. You can never be 100% sure, but it is important to keep an eye on companies, because if they do take a step out of that triangle, it could be a good idea to start to work your way in. Well, personally, I did buy this stock right around market open on March 15th. Personally, I'm up about 65%. As I didn't catch it at the bottom, I caught it somewhere, or probably I would say around this area right here. Now, whenever it does come to what we have been seeing recently, we can see that this company has been absolutely flying. I mean, they've absolutely taken off. We've seen so much upward momentum, and I will go over why that has been, but it has been fantastic seeing all of the momentum that they're gaining. Now, personally, I do believe that there's a little bit more room left to run. I think that this is going to be the first big level of resistance right around close on this area here, right around where we closed on this day on February 22nd. That's where I'm expecting the first big piece of resistance to be at. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on it. I would like to see how it is going to perform. Again, I personally do think that there's probably going to be maybe another 8 or 9% that it can gain before we start to see it slow down, as we have started to see it somewhat slow down. It's not so steep. We're starting to see a little bit more resistance in some of these different time frames, and so I'm definitely curious to see if it is going to reach this resistance here. Now, if it does reach this resistance, I will definitely be keeping a very close eye. That could be a great time to take some profits, in my opinion. I think that it is going to meet some resistance. Could be a good time to take some profits, monitor it, see if it does start start to kind of bounce back a bit and then maybe get back in. It kind of just all depends on what the stock price does. And so it's very important to keep an eye on all of these different levels. Now, with that being said, what in the world has been going on with the stock? Why has it had just a resurgence from the dead basically in the last week? And what all has been going on to make us see a rise of over 100% in the last week? Well, we are going to go ahead and we're going to start off with a few aspects that I think have been very important to a lot of this growth. Now, the first one is going to be coming from March 9th of 2021. Now, what happened on March 9th, 2021 is basically this company went in and made a lot of specifications about the characteristics of their gold-backed cryptocurrency token. Now, the reason I think that this has been so important is because in late February, whenever they announced their token and kind of really brought it to light, there wasn't a lot of specifications about how it would be backed, how much money they were going to be backing it with. You know, if the stock was to start to climb, or the token, the value of the token itself was to start to climb, well, would it be backed by the price of gold, or would it be backed by, you know, the demand for the market demand for the crypto itself? How did all that work? And what happened on March 9th? And I'm not going to get into all of it because I did actually talk about it in my last video, but they went in and really clarified down to very specific details how this was going to work. I mean, we got things such as the fact that it is going to be backed 100% by physical gold, that they have about $30 million in physical gold that the company currently holds, and it just made it super duper simple. Now, the next thing that we did get was that the AABB Gold token wallet was available for download. Now, that was very important simply for the fact that it makes it, you know, a little bit less conceptual and makes it a more of a reality. Now, whenever we think about it, you know, a lot of these different cryptos, whenever we think about, or even just investing with Robinhood, a lot of people do take a lot of value in the presentation of the apps that they have to use, the overall, you know, efficiency of the apps, how convenient the apps are. All of that plays a very important role. If you have an app that, you know, you can purchase cryptos through, or maybe use Bitcoin, Ethereum to buy a smaller crypto coin, maybe like Litecoin, etc. Whenever you have those different apps, if they are very hard to use, if they're hard to understand, if the app is boring or ugly, crazy thing is, it actually does play a lot of effect, in my opinion, on how that is going to react within the market. People want things that look cool. People want things that are pretty. People want things that are easy to use, and that is exactly what their wallet is. And so what they did is they also went in, they clarified exactly how buying all of this was going to work through the app. They said you have to download the app. They said what things you can use to buy it, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, etc. And then they were going to be going over, you know, how much these fees were going to be. They were going to have to pay a 2% transaction fee for, you know, and they were also going to have to pay a little bit for the 0.1 gram of gold price. So all of that information was very super duper important. Again, I don't want to keep talking too much about the details simply because I know I have talked about it in the past and I don't want to be redundant here. But I think all of these clarifications were super duper important to the overall, you know, rebound of this stock, because people understand it now, right? They understand the company. They understand what they're going to be buying. They understand how they're going to be buying it, what fees they're going to be paying, how to buy it. They understand what it's backed by, so they understand the stability of it. And I think that has been super duper important. Now, the next big piece of news, and I think this one is even bigger news once you do understand the overall way that it works, is the fact that they signed a letter of intent to acquire a gold mine and production facilities in Mascota, Mexico. Now, this one actually did come out before the previous article with the clarifications, so I think that realistically, this one didn't play as much of a factor until the March 9th one came out. Let me explain why. Well, realistically, whenever the company announced that they had signed the LOI to get, this facility, well, people were like, okay, cool, you have a gold mining facility and you have production facilities, but realistically, like, what does this even matter if we don't even know what this coin's all about? Because at the time, on March 4th, no one really knew that it was 100% backed by gold, and, you know, it was backed by $30 million worth of gold in which they held in private security locations. So now that we do know that that is what's happening, I think it plays even more of a factor knowing that, okay, they're acquiring more gold mining and they're acquiring more production facilities, because this will allow them to not only have a higher level of stability within the company itself whenever it comes to revenue mining, etc. It's also going to allow them to back this cryptocurrency even more and provide a much more stable and, you know, reliable cryptocurrency, as it is, again, backed 100% by gold. So as they do back it 100% by gold, they're going to have to make sure that they keep that amount in which they need. If this thing grows very, very big, they're going to need to do some type of crediting, or they're going to have to do something, or a lot of mining, in order to make sure that they withhold enough gold to be able to keep that backing. So I think now that that information is out there, and now that we do know they are doing things like this to acquire more gold mines and production facilities, people believe in the company a little bit more. They think that it's a little bit more stable, a little bit more reliable, and I think that's very, very important. Now, this is not the first time that they have done this. On October 27th of 2020, about 6 months ago now, we can see that they had also got one in the prolific mining region of Mexico. So they have been putting a lot of money and a lot of time into getting these different mining facilities and production facilities because, again, that is going to be the biggest backing for their token. It is going to be what's going to hold this entire company together, and they are going to have to make sure that they stay up to date with all of this simply to maintain afloat. Now, the next big catalyst that I am very, very excited about, and I think has caused a lot of this growth recently, is, as we can see here, it says that Asia Broadband approves stock dividend for shareholders. Now, what they announced is that they're going to be doing a 1-for-50 dividend payout to their shareholders. Basically, for every chunk of 50 shares that you own, you will get one free stock. Now, considering the fact that this is a pretty cheap stock at the moment, it's not one that costs too much, getting 50 shares isn't really that hard, and so getting an extra share for every 50 is definitely awesome. I mean, I think a lot of people are excited about that. It definitely shows a lot about the company, in my opinion. I think it says that they do value their shareholders and that they want to continue to reward their shareholders for having faith in them, and I absolutely love that from this company. I think going forward, April 5th is going to be a big day for them. I think maybe a lot more people are going to continue to buy shares, especially considering the fact that they are going to get a free share for every 50 that they own. So I think all of this information combined has really caused a lot of this growth recently. I think April 5th, or whenever we do reset time, is going to be very, very important for the company as well. And I'm very interested to see how it is going to react to some of these levels as we do approach that date. So going forward, I think some big catalysts to look out for is definitely April 5th, as we are going to be expecting everything with that dividend. Also, I think as we do expect that they are going to finish that LOI, as they did sign just a letter of intent to purchase that mining facility. They didn't fully purchase it yet. So as we do get some more information about that purchase, as we do get some more information about how long it's going to take them to get into production, how long it's going to take them to get into mining, and then some of the results from that mining, I think all of that is going to be very big for the future of this company. And I'm definitely excited to see where it does go from here. If you guys are equally as excited as me, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. If there's any other catalysts that I may have missed, if there's any information I might have forgot, definitely let me know in the comment section below. As we're all human, none of us are perfect, and you never know what could be big for this company. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. With that being said, I do post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Peace.